Yo, what's good? It's your boy Derek Branch here, SportsView360.com, covering the New Orleans Saints. In today's video, I just want to talk about a topic that has, came up a few times. I've seen on my timelines on, social media, by posted by a few accounts, Saints, related accounts. And that's that's entertaining the idea of the Saints trading for 49ers wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk. Now, as many of you already know, if you have not known about this, is that there have been a lot of rumors circulating around Brandon Aiyuk's future with the San Francisco 49ers, dating back to last season when he had like a career high in receiving yards, touchdowns with the 49ers, leading receiver, put up a lot of big numbers. And he is going into a contract year. He's going into the last year of his deal, and he wants to get paid right now. The 49ers don't have to pay him, but right now, there have been reports of where he can be going. Niners, don't want to trade him because they've kind of been adamant about having him a part of the team, but they drafted. I think they've drafted two wide receivers. I know one guy they took in the first round, Ricky Parcell out of Florida, and that kind of set off alarms right there that they could be possibly moving on from him. But they came out and said that they had intentions of moving him. But yesterday there was a video that came out where Aiyuk was talking with Jay Daniels, former LSU Tigers quarterback, now the Washington Commanders. But prior to Daniels coming to LSU, he was the starting QB for Arizona State, and Brandon Aiyuk was one of his wide receivers. And he did this chit chat going back and forward, just talking on social media. And I'm paraphrasing what he said, but Aiyuk said something along the lines of, they don't want him. That the Niners don't want him to come back. So it's just been, those rumors have started up now once again of Aiyuk being traded, and there's been some people out there that believe that the Saints should make a move from Brandon Aiyuk. But the thing is, when you talk about moves like this, is it really worth it? Are the Saints or Brandon Aiyuk away from being Super Bowl contenders? Will that move put this team over the top? Is that going to be the move that gets it done? You know what I'm saying? And the Saints got a lot of question marks. Offensive line is still a question mark regardless of what they say during minicamp. Now you got a situation now with Alvin Kamara and his potential contract holdout if he doesn't show up to training camp. He left the afternoon, the evening portion of minicamp. So there's a lot of question marks going into training camp. Is they going to trade? Or are they going to really keep hanging on to Marshawn Lattimore? That's something to think about. You know what I'm saying? Defensive line. Is it gonna be up to par? So I'm not sure. I don't know if adding a guy like a Brandon Aiyuk would put this team over the top when you got so many other question marks with this team. And I can't really fault nobody for thinking like this because they view it as a networking type of thing. Because Clint Kubiak, who is now the Saints offensive coordinator, worked under Kyle Shanahan's staff, and he is very familiar with that player, with Brandon Aiyuk. And not Shanahan, but Clint Kubiak has bought over people, have influenced the Saints to sign players, sign coaches that he's familiar with. The quarterbacks coach, Andrew Jonico, he came from Chicago. He knows Clint Kubiak, during his time, I think that time in Minnesota together. One offensive lineman, they familiar with Clint Kubiak. Aquamedia's St. Brown. Worked in Chicago. He played in he was in Chicago with Jonico. So they know Clint Kubiak. So that's just the networking type of thing. So people believe that just because Kubiak was familiar with Brandon Aiyuk in San Francisco, that gives the Saints the opportunity to make a run at the 49ers leading wide receiver. But I mean, to me, I don't think it's worth it. Because the Saints going into next year, 2025, they need all their draft picks, that they have right now. And there's a chance that this team don't make the playoffs once again, and you'd be going into full-blown rebuild mode. And you're going to need those picks to start your rebuild. And if you trade Aiyuk, the 49ers are going to want multiple picks. I know that at a minimum, they're going to at least be asking for a second-round pick. Maybe even the first. And Aiyuk's numbers are straight, but does he even garner that type of attention? Like a Justin Jefferson or a Jamar Chase or Devontae Adams, if those players were on the market to be traded. So I think I don't think that's the right move to be making, man. Maybe if the Saints, like if they made the playoffs last year, if they had won the NFC South, then maybe things would look different. Then maybe you would think about adding a guy like a Brandon Aiyuk, because chances are high that, the Saints made the playoffs last year, won the NFC South, they would have been a little more aggressive this past offseason during free agency. They would have been a little more aggressive, trying to add more players. You know what I'm saying? But that didn't happen. So you got to look at things from a different perspective. And yes, I do believe they're going into a small rebuild to this team. But they're still trying to be competitive. So, no, I don't think the Saints should try to pursue Brandon Aiyuk. I just don't, because it's just not worth it. Because when you give up assets for this guy, you got to pay him. And he's commanding top dollar, and I don't blame him for doing that. You got to strike while the iron is hot. 49ers, they just paid Christian McCaffrey. You're paying Fred Warner. You're paying Nick Bosa, and a few others. You're paying Deebo Samuels, but you're not paying your quarterback, which you'll be doing real soon. So that's a lot of mouths to feed, and there's so many people that you can pay, and it's starting to come down to a point to where you gotta start preparing to pay Brock Purdy starting QB. So Aiyuk may be the odd man out, but I don't think the Saints. I think it would, if he had to come to this team, I think he would be successful, but as a team, the team as a whole, I don't think it would make us a lot better. And right now, I think at the wide receiver position, I think we're fine. We're good. I like what we have at wide receiver with A.T. Perry, Rashid Shaheed, who could possibly have a breakout year, Chris Olave as well. If you make a move like that, at least I would try to get another offensive lineman up in there, man. That's where they should be focusing at, instead of wide receiver. But we'll see how it play out, man. The Saints, they've done some unpredictable things in the past, like try to pursue Deshaun Watson, along with a few other stories out there. But we'll see how it play out, man. But I don't think the Saints are going to be players looking for major players looking for Brandon Aiyuk to join this team. So we'll see. All right, so that's for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. What do you think it would take for the Saints to try to acquire Brandon Aiyuk? And also check out sportsview360.com/Saints for latest content. The One Saints organization. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out. Do that.